I guess if you have one of those, this song is jamming people up who have Google Pixel phones, if that's your cell phone, or Android operating system or whatever. The Pixies found out that Where Is My Mind, because Frank Black says stop, beginning of that. Not the Poundcake homage here, but the that it was shutting off people's Google Assistant alarms. I guess stop being... You know, like people will text me during the show. We've had this issue too. And they'll go, hey, how did I get unsubscribed? And I don't know how any of that works, but we were able to determine over the course of whatever that if people put stop in the body of their text or words like that, the text platform read it as like an unsubscribe for people who had subscribed. You know, like when you get spam texts, they'll say stop to end. Like, I'm sure my sister or one of my siblings trolled me a while ago and put my email address into a lot of this like right-wing campaign texting. So I'm constantly getting things like, won't you give $10 so Ted Cruz can stop the woke mob? That all kind of, nonsense. People with Google alarms were finding that that Pixies had been shutting off their alarm clocks. I guess that's kind of a niche thing, too. Like, you really got to... how many people are listening to that? I don't know. If it was if it was in their shuffle playlist or something, some people will use music as their alarm. And rather than set the phone alarm, they'll set a song to go off. And that was... so this is a long way around to tell you that you should probably just use the Poundcake version. Because it won't begin with Black Francis and stop. It'll begin with Poundcake. And that's probably the best way to start any day is with Poundcake.
I think so.
Yeah.
Counterpoint. There's every other way is a better way to
That's how
start.
I wake up is to Nicki Minaj. Say again?
I would say I can think of many better ways to wake up, but that's just me. To each their own.
Well, you're wrong. It's okay to be wrong.
Wow. Okay.
God damn, you dick.
All right, I'll just listen to the newest episode of the Poundcake podcast.
Oh! Hey-oh! Shots fired!
I already forgot what it's called.
Bitch.
I forget what it's called. What is the latest episode? Hold on.
Has it been a month since you've done one?
Something like that.
He's not currently inspired to do one, and he's not required to do one. But you also have to imagine the goodwill that you've built up among the audience of the Poundtake podcast.
Oh,
those people who expect a weekly missive from you on a variety of subjects.
Well, I'm building it up. So when I do, bang,
Building what up?
Semen.
The anticipation.
Oh, I thought you meant you were putting a bunch in the can, if you will.
Last
His
episode.
boyfriend gets home tomorrow.
Yeah.
The podcast, you're building up anticipation.
Yeah.
Anticipation works if people know when to expect something.
Well, I'll let them know when they need to expect.
I see. But by then they might already be gone. Because the iHeart app, as I discovered, will put anything on there. It is quantity over quality. So it's easy to get lost.
I mean, that's how all the podcast apps work.
There's no gatekeeping at all?
No, you use... It's like YouTube, basically.
I guess I was under the impression that the iHeartRadio app, this company's primary platform, there was somebody within the organization that was going, yeah, this can go on our platform.
Why do you think they're running those Spreaker ads where they're telling you to...
What Spreaker ads?
You've never heard the Spreaker ads? Because Spreaker is...
On the stream?
Yeah.
I don't listen to the
not
stream.
The stream, but no, I've heard them go over the air where they're like, hey, you want to start a podcast? Stop. I don't think they played as much. I think they were playing a lot more when we were at Oak Tree, but it's like, start your podcast, quit your job, get paid.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that you could just post it too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. There you go.
That's why everyone can have a podcast.
Yeah.
Last episode was No More China's Vagina.
What was the date?
March 29th.
Oh!
You haven't done one in April? There was no
5
Poundtake
weeks.
podcast in the month of April.
Correct.
And what episode was that?
Episode 116.
Well, that's pretty
Good
good.
number to stop at.
Listen, even if you never do another one, you have 116 episodes of your own show that you can send to whoever. Hey, I would love...
Have a binge day and just listen to all the episodes.
116 hours of Cody.
They're not all an hour.
They're like half hour.
Whatever.
There's no way to know what 1/2 of 116 is, but...
There's some in there that are above an hour. There's
Yeah.
58 minutes. This one's 75 minutes.
Yeah.
82 minutes.
Well, listen, there's something for everybody in there.
The Swalloween Spooktake.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That was the name
what,
of the episode.
Mary? What's the matter?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing's the matter.
Are you oh my God at him?
The Swalloween Spook-take. That's what was, oh my God.
Right, because it should have been the Swallowing Spookaki.
Oh, God.
Spooktacular. It's the Halloween episode.
Yeah, I figured.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called?
The Swalloween Spooktak.
Oh, swallowing,
Mm-hmm.
not swallowing.
No.
I see. Some people say I pronounce ing as EEN. I thought that's what he was doing. So we were running. Okay, gotcha. I hate that.
Have I ever spoken
No,
like that
I don't
ever?
know. I hear people say that. I'm sure I'm mistakenly attributing it to you, but it just drives me nuts when people do that. I think we're going. Are you? Listen, Alan, I've already unfollowed Cody. He had a bunch of promises come the new year for the podcast, and to come to find out they were all lies.
Oh,
All
Cody.
lies
You can't
from
lie
him.
to your fans.
I think he's lying the fact
You
that I
don't
had
know
promises.
what you don't know until you know it.
I don't know what I promised I didn't deliver on.
Shut up, Poundcake.
I said it would be I said it would be entertaining.
That was your first mistake.
You've
Well,
noticed
I
I don't
tried.
even say that about this show because I can't possibly live up to that for 20 plus hours a week.
I tried.
You played yourself, playa. Well, again, it's not. How many episodes are there of the Bill Squire show?
Oh, I don't count them, but we're coming up on, what is it, 3 years? So I'm guessing around 160.
Over 3 years?
Yeah, because
he
I did
does his
some.
every week.
I do mine every week, and then there's also been weeks where I've done like multiple
I
episodes.
was like, and you also had Flicks and Bill. Whatever happened to that?
That I just kind of rolled into. I mean, I talk about movies a lot on my podcast, so it just kind of rolled into.
How
that.
long have you been doing the Poundtake podcast?
Just since 2020.
So you've both been doing it for 3 years, but Bill only has like 50 more episodes than you?
I started in May of 2020. Was it May of 2020? Yeah, I think I started in May of 2020.
Because
And I
these
think
were
Poundcake started in
both
October.
pandemic-induced
And then
podcasts, right?
Poundcake started in October of 2020.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Well, you got some catching up to do, Poundcake.
I do when I feel the inspiration.
So what do you think your next kind of spark of inspirato will be? At what point will you go, this needs to be this week?
would you like to audition to be on the Bill Squire show?
No. Just when I have an episode that I think I haven't done before that I think that would be interesting, I kind of want to move away from like the pop culture aspect. I do it well.
And
but
move toward what?
I would love to do like travel podcast. Like
You know you need to travel first.
that's my point. I need to book.
So
a
you'll
trip
do
and
so you'll
one.
do a podcast twice a year?
I didn't say it will be the entire podcast, but I'm saying I would do an episode where I'm like, hey, I'm here. I'm gonna go here, and it'll be like essentially a travel vlog, but just in a podcast form. I want to introduce more of like my the activities that I do.
Such as?
Well, I gotta do some activities, but when I do,
Wait. I assume that you weren't. Oh, so you're kind of putting the cart before the horse here. You're like,
He's never
I'll
done
do
that.
something when I
Do something.
He's
do
gonna,
something.
He's
I
gonna.
gotta do more things first before I do that other thing.
No. He's got a plan for a podcast episode
I just need a
about
life.
his hobbies that he doesn't have.
I just need to get hobbies. That's all.
And what do you think will light that fire?
When I have more free time to do things, like
You have a boyfriend now, so you have less free time.
correct. Now you understand why I'm not doing the podcast.
Oh, I see where his priorities are.
Yeah.
in the sheets.
Poundcake is the person who gets a significant other and ignores all their friends.
Everyone.
Yes.
Cut everyone off.
Ignores all their friends. In this scenario, the friends are the listeners of the podcast. Well, if you're fine with regularly disappointing 20 people, then...
yes, I disappoint way more. So 20 is kind of a leg up. But I feel like I'm putting on many hats right now, and just the Poundtake podcast. It's not canceled. It's on hiatus. It's going to come back.
What are all these hats?
Yeah, that could be
The
your
boyfriend is
hobby.
one hat.
Okay, I'm here. I have my morning job.
You were both of those hats you were wearing before while you were doing the podcast.
I'm doing weddings now every other weekend.
Yeah, okay.
I'm doing
Summertime.
And also when I leave here, not that I don't love it, Orange Theory Fitness, but it is an extra hour out of my day.
I understand. So would it be diplomatic to say that you're on a summer hiatus that you just got going early?
Yeah.
Started your summer hiatus in April.
A lot of things are happening all at once. Like if I release my apartment, that's fine. I don't have to worry about moving. I just got to buy some stuff so my apartment doesn't look so empty. But if I don't release it and move somewhere else, I'm going to have to move. So that's another transition that I'm going to have to make. There's a lot of changes that are happening all at once. And quite honestly, I'm not prepared for all of them.
He's like Ozzy. He's going through changes.
I'm juggling a lot. And so the Poundtake podcast, not that I don't enjoy doing it.
He's juggling addresses, balls,
Hats.
So many things.
Something that takes a lot of time that I don't get paid for. So it's just going to be on the back burner for now, but it's not going away.
You know how you could get paid for your podcast?
How?
Put them on Spreaker on the iHeartRadio app. Yeah.
No, the requirements to make money because it's all through the company is outrageous.
Of course. Do 5,000 episodes, you can make $10. Yeah.
Do we get paid per listener?
They can't even figure out how to put ads in
'Cause
this
I can-
goddamn podcast.
I can do $20.
What?
I said, do they pay
Start
per
a
listener?
Patreon.
You get a percentage after you hit a certain amount of listeners.
50,000
every month.
downloads. Yeah, you get
Yeah.
a nickel.
I'm not far off. I got like
20?
No, you got to get it monthly.
Monthly.
what?
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
this
that's
company's
right.
a trip, man.
Yeah, that's why it's like, oh, we know what you guys want us to do. Well, good luck, pal.
I was gonna say thank you. Yeah, I'm doing stuff. They'll get it when they get it.
Again,
Just be patient, guys.
it's not like you're obligated to do it. You can do it whenever or you want to or not.
It's fun. I'm gonna.
It's the beauty of it.
I want to create new and creative ways. People shouldn't want me to slop it together, and I don't want to slop it together. I have episodes that I did not put out because I'm like, well, I don't like this, and I already know I'm gonna get butchered for it. So I'm like, I don't want to do it.
Release those episodes now.
Please drop
Please.
those.
Those are the ones we
Yes.
No, I think I deleted them.
want. Oh,
I'm lying. They're
Call it
in
the
here somewhere.
Outtake Podcast.
Oh, that's creative.
Yes, I got a couple of tricks up my sleeve. You're welcome. If you listen on iHeartRadio, that free app, you can leave us messages there.
Bill, I want to thank you for educating me on the ways of Mormons. I was watching a video where they go to Brigham Young University and they ask people, you know, what's the worst thing you've done in college? Things along those lines. And I seem to be one of the only people who understood when the girl said, I shook the bed for soaking. And my favorite comment was, that's a Mormon threesome.
What is that? We've talked about soaking before. What does he mean, a Mormon threesome?
Well, that's because there's two people on the bed, and then there's a third person shaking the bed. So that makes
it's movement.
So there's movement.
Oh, is that true?
Without
Yeah.
doing anything. I think this is all like it's not a thing that was going on when I was Mormon and when I was out there. It wasn't anything like that, but it may have happened over the years, but it's definitely taken
I
on.
shook the bed for soaking.
It's taken on a life of its own, like where it's like a meme at this point, I think.
Oh
But
boy,
it's hilarious.
I'm
so
hip to the
I'm gonna keep
soaking.
it
I didn't
going.
know that there had to be a third person to shake the bed.
Yeah, if you want to.
So you can't move at all.
I don't know. I guess I don't. Again, I didn't ever do this or hear of this until a few years ago.
You came late to the soaking game.
The
And
soaking
by that
thing-
time, you
the
were
soaking thing was
fully-
never a thing that was talked about when I was a Mormon.
Yeah.
Because penetration is still sex. Like if you put your
Not if you don't move.
thing
Right.
in there, it still counts. So like,
Right. Let's just
and
not
it's-
move.
It's a ridiculous idea, but
Right.
what are you gonna do? It's funny still. So I think it's become just another, meme type myth about Mormons.
It's not sex if we don't move.
Mm-hmm.
Some Mormon tabernacle choir for your enjoyment. Although I don't hear anybody singing. Where's the singing? There we go. That is an aggressively white choir.
Oh, yeah.
Tabernacle.
Right? Look at that. Wow. That's a lot of... There isn't even anybody... Well, there's one black girl. I was going to say, there isn't even anybody, like, aggressively beige in there. It's...
Gretchen. La Gloria.
That's a pretty sweet organ, though, they got up there.
Oh, it's a big-ass organ.
That is a big-ass organ.
Mm-hmm. Don't move it, though.
Do not move that organ.
Leave that organ still.
A Mormon threesome. I like that.
A sexual threesome.
Alan, why doesn't Poundcake just admit that his writers are on strike?
Writers.
He is on strike.
He is on strike.
He is absolutely on strike.
Yeah.
We want better pay.
Pete Davidson's the big loser in the writer's strike. His new sitcom dropped today, and so he was going to host SNL this weekend to promote it.
SNL.
No SNL. It was him and Lil Uzi Vert as the musical guest. Of course, Lil Uzi Vert, you'll recall, known in his native France as Petite Uzi Green. But Bupkis is his show. Joe Pesci is his grandfather. Edie Falco's his mom. It's got Ray Romano's in it.
Hey, I had a heart attack and I'm in Bupkis.
It's over there on Peacock. It's an exaggerated.
I've heard it's very good.
It's an exaggerated version of Pete Davidson. So he plays himself and what life is like. The same thing Pete Davidson does in every movie. He plays basically himself. MGK is in Bupkis. They're boys.
MGK.
Bill, did you catch up with your homie Marcelo? How's he holding up?
I haven't talked to him, but I'm sure he's good. He'll be all right.
He big-timed you?
I didn't think to. I mean, he's not a writer. He's a cast member. He'll be all right. He's doing okay. I'm sure he's fine. It's not the best way to end your first season on SNL, though. That's
yeah, right. Writer's strike, first time in
season.
15 years.
It's like the first time he gets on there, he's like, "Mom, I've made it." Show's canceled.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. They gave him. He was doing a lot of desk pieces, which is good because it's just you. That's kind of a sweet spot. Because a lot of people get on that show and then they really just don't give them anything to do.
right.
No, he's useful.
Like my other
He's
buddy,
good.
Luke Knoll in Brooks Wheelan. Basically,
Right.
if you're my friend and you get on that show, you got one season. So hopefully Marcelo breaks that curse. That's
Well,
fine.
no, yeah, he doesn't want people to know. No wonder he's not talking to you.
I know,
He's like,
right?
I'm trying to stay on this show, homie.
I didn't bring it up. Poundcake did. I'm trying to keep my friend on the show, so I don't talk to him.
So yeah,
That's how my friends and I stay friends.
Pete Davidson's Bupkis, if you get Peacock, and you don't have to go week to week. I think they dropped all the episodes. Although I did read one review that said the worst part of Bupkis is Pete Davidson. They're like, it's got a really good cast. A lot of people coming in and out of this show. But Pete Davidson, listen, you either like the guy or you don't, because he's always playing himself. So if you don't like that whole thing, you're not going to like it. I think it's funny. But that's his thing. They're also making a movie about the very first episode of Saturday Night Live. Jason Reitman is going to direct it. About the opening night of SNL. The very first episode, George Carlin was the host. This was October 11th, 1975. And it's going to be an entire movie based on the very first SNL broadcast, which means they're going to have to cast the not ready for primetime players. They're going to have to cast somebody to play George Carlin and Chevy Chase and Belushi. Does your buddy Marcelo look like any of those people? Could he play Garrett Morris?
Hispanic, so it's...
Could he play Garrett Morris? It's just
I mean,
gonna,
they did this for that National Lampoon's movie a few years ago.
It's just going to be Keenan.
Yeah.
Come on. Keenan's going to play Garrett Morris. He'll drop a couple of LBs and they'll get him in there. When you can't get Samuel L. Jackson, you get Keenan to do it for you, and he'll kill it.
What was that movie a few years ago about the National Lampoon's writer that started? He was part of SNL and he
Michael O'Donoghue,
wrote,
the Will Forte thing.
Yeah, Caddyshack and everything like that. That was a fun movie. and they had a lot of, current comedy stars playing those comedy stars from back in the day.
It was that, oh God, what was it called? It's called like a stupid